Happy New Year, and let me be the last one to wish you all a Merry Christmas, gamers. Welcome back to the first episode of 2020 here of the Gloves Off podcast, hosted by us here at Master Hand Gaming. I'm Koopa. You probably know that already. And joining us today is the other guy you know already, the odd lang to my Zine, I guess, Mr. Chris CX. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. Actually happy to be here because we missed like a kind of a lot. We got a little inconsistent in December, but like I feel pretty motivated to get back on with these casts. I do enjoy them quite a bit.
Yeah, the holidays are a bitch to say the least. And joining us, making a return. You haven't been on the podcast in a minute. It's everybody's favorite content creator slash Smash player, R Hungry.
Hello, everyone. It's good to be back.
He back.
Back in the we are indeed back in the New York groove, as we are here to discuss a couple of things. It's kind of an awkward week, I guess. Not really awkward. There was just a lot of stuff happening within a week of itself, and this January itself is incredibly congested with tournaments. So there's a lot of bases to cover and stuff to talk about. So we're going to be talking primarily about Let's Make Big Moves, as it was a tournament that A, all three of us were at, and B, the most recent S tier. But as we continue through the rest of the next couple months, that number is probably going to increase in regards to the number of S tiers. So that's one thing to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit about commentary, about some other brackets that happened over the weekend, as well as looking for to the future for stuff that's happened in the next couple of weeks. So first, I will start by asking everybody what was their favorite thing at the Taco Bell Cantina.
I didn't go.
You fucked up.
Dude,
No.
I think I did too. Wait, what's the Taco Bell Cantina?
That was the Taco Bell that's open till like 5 in the morning across the street from New York.
Oh, I was definitely there. Dude, it had like digital. It had the ordering screens.
Yeah, they had alcohol. That's
So
the best
cool.
part.
I don't drink alcohol.
That's a lie. Actually,
I
no, it's
actually
not.
do not.
I just like to punch my order in on the screen and I have to talk to someone sometimes. Like
That's
when I'm
fine.
in a rush, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's social.
Yeah.
That's social.
Well, that's
anxiety
slower
shit.
if it's
Dude,
like.
yes. There's already a lot of people in the city, like, and then I have to talk to cashier. It's like, like.
Yes. When
That's
that
what I
social
thought,
anxiety.
right? Like doing oh, it's faster if I just have the machine in front of me. But it's actually kind of slower. It's like you're scrolling through it, and when you're talking to someone, you have to like make this decision. You were like, I want this.
Yeah, like,
And you don't even like,
and they're just like, okay.
Like that one, like that SpongeBob clip where Patrick doesn't know what he wants.
Yeah.
Let me get a
He was
fucking.
always right.
Yeah, can I get a? Yeah. So first of all, let me just start by saying New York is it's a city.
Yeah.
I don't go there very often because like it's very high traffic, but like I can't. I don't remember the last time I was there, but going to a tournament like where I actually had to set up was interesting. Like loading in and out of the hotel. There was one point my car was like parked across the crosswalk as I'm like loading my car in because it was literally the best place to do it, and it was very anxious for me. But the actual tournament itself,
Scary.
dude, it was very scary because like you don't know, like everyone's just walking past. Everyone can just kind of take something if they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. And
Yeah.
the scary part about New York is that nobody. So like,
Wait, no.
it's also it's a convenient thing, but it's also like this person could just easily walk into my car and take all my stuff.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, either most people are walking there anyways because there's just so much going on. But it did make for a really unique tournament experience. Like, Let's Make Big Moves in general was I don't know. Like, it was. I don't think I've really heard anything bad about it at all. In fact, I've heard only the opposite. It got a lot of praise, and I do think that being in a city did offer a little bit to that because. The venue is 24/7. The city is literally, New York, the city that never sleeps is what's called, or so they say. And it's just like, so like you could literally do anything at any point, and you know how like degenerate people are at like majors and stuff. So
Yeah.
you
Well,
go,
it was like the hotel venue, so people were just all there all the time.
yeah, just loitering, man, just
Yeah.
lingering and playing Smash, and then just going out to wherever and getting food. Like it's not even like you have to look for a place that's open. Like how like around
Yeah,
here.
that's like, yeah, that's the part about the tournament to me that I was the most excited about is that going out to eat with people after a tournament is like could be considered an Olympic sport sometimes.
Oh my God,
Just
yes.
because like nobody knows what to do. Like there's time constraints. Like people are too busy playing friendlies to like pay attention to their text messages and like.
Or someone resets the bracket.
Yes, that's the fucking worst. Like, oh my god, like it's Friday night, it's game 10 of doubles, and it's like already 11:30 at night, and it's like, damn man, let's get us McDonald's for dinner tonight. But nah, we didn't have to worry about that. Just because it's New York City and everything's open. Like I was almost able to find a place that was open that I wanted to go to, that was like within walking distance or like a quick Uber drive away. So.
Yeah, that was really cool. And it also helped, like, I don't know, the tournament itself. There was like a lot of upsets. I mean, I know we're not specifically getting the bracket, but like the room is very excitable. Is I guess what I'm trying to drive at.
It was like an amplified Tri-State crowd.
And that's what the people want, right? Like the whole like everyone wants to hear the yours and the ratchet stuff.
Yeah.
All the hip with the kids, you know.
Yeah.
It's I mean, but it is fun because you know, if I will toot my own horn, but I was also slightly carried by people with really good equipment. But like the presentation was really good, so even if you were just like watching, like you kind of got to see what the room was like, because the room did actually light up a lot, especially during like that crew battle and everything. Like people were kind of just going nuts.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a moment of silence for Kool-Aid's $120 that he lost on betting on Tristate.
Damn, son.
I was walking into the venue like as the crew battle finished and kind of had that look on his face, and I'm just like, oh no. My man was tight, but no, I agree. Like everything about the tournament just kind of hit. The only like real complaint that I have, and this is more of a nitpick, is that on like the stream layout, I didn't like how like the players' sponsors were like the same text color as like the players' names. So like at certain points, it looked like alphabet soup, like on the stream layout.
So let me give you a little insight on that, as I was involved with the production. Basically the overlays and you know, I'm just gonna say it. They were bad. There was a lack. There just like wasn't enough. And I had actually done the presentation last year, and it was, you know, I'll tell it was good. It was good. I know how presentation works. I'm a presentation guy, and it's just like I sent them my overlays this time because they were gonna work on them, but I think they kind of worked on them like really late and not for a long time, and they basically shrunk down some of mine or used aspects from mine, but didn't really like make it work in a different way. So then it just ended up with like, I don't know. I had all just player cameras and crowd cameras. I barely even used the overlays. So when it came to like the font and stuff, like it just, I don't know. I don't think anyone ever really looked. So
I did because I'm annoying, but
well you did when you're watching it, but like no one really looked like I think before doing it. But in either case, like I think if that was the worst thing to happen all weekend, then it was still a success.
The font was size 11, not 12.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing for me to get salty about. So like I won't do that, and most people won't care at the end of the day when they're watching the tournament anyways. But yeah, it's stuff like that. It could definitely be improved. So I guess if anything, something to like.
The font was Times New Roman. I was black. I'm upset.
Wait, hold on. You cut out after Times New Roman.
No, I was saying that I wanted Times New. I was told Times New Roman, and I got Arial Black.
Yeah, man, you don't want Arial Black.
Courier.
Yeah, Courier.
Ugh, get it off my screen.
I once watched in one of my college classes. I watched a documentary on like the certain font they use on like billboard signs. I forget what it's called. I just remember it being very boring. It's like the worst way I've ever spent like an hour and a half of class.
Yeah, there's like a lot of science.
Comic Sans.
No, God, please no.
There's a lot of science behind that, you know.
There was a vending machine at my old an old client that I had that had the text written in Comic Sans, which was fantastic. Or awful, depending on which way you look at it.
When they launched the Vega rocket and Kuru a couple years back, like the scientists were using Comic Sans like on the display screens.
I feel like Comic Sans, unironically, is probably one of the greatest things ever to see. Like, I don't know if you guys ever seen like restaurant signs in Comic Sans, but I have.
Yeah, I have too.
Yeah, it's fantastic every time I see it.
Or like the menus and stuff are in Comic Sans.
Yeah.
I actually would have liked if the overlays were in Comic Sans better, because I would.
I'm waiting for the day that happens.
Yeah, maybe I'll think
Evo
about that.
2020 Grand Finals. What the Texas and Comic Sans.
Well, I don't want. Oh man, this reminds me of that Thunder Gaming one overlay.
Yeah, we all know the one you're talking about.
Boy.
And if you don't,
Top-
just yeah, it's
Probably like a top 10, like.
Good
That's
thing
like
you
what.
don't know.
and that's
Yeah,
that
that's
tournament had like 20K attached to it too, or whatever.
If
it
you guys
was.
ever, if you guys ever want to have a laugh in the rabbit hole, go look at the Twitter accounts like Bad Stream Layouts.
I'm actually gonna look at that right now.
Dude, that's a great Twitter. That's a good Twitter follow on like a burner account. Like
So
it's pretty. It's
A what account?
like a burner account.
What does that mean?
I'll explain it to you later.
Am I a boomer right now?
Yes.
so
Okay,
basically,
Boomer.
King Boomy?
King Boomy.
That's what I'm gonna call everyone now. So like boomers, I'm calling him King Boomy.
That might make them matter.
Nah, dude, King Boomy's hype. What the hell?
Yeah, but they're not gonna. Not everyone's gonna understand it. And
Yeah, so if they're mad, then that's better for me.
I'm mad. We're off track. I'm not that mad. I was trying to segue.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah. back to the match. Yeah. So, Hungry, how was your Let's Make Big Moves experience as a competitor?
Everything was really, really well done and on time. Everything was paced well. Like it's when the bracket was supposed to start, it started. You know, like it was not like, oh, we gotta wait 30 minutes because I want to.
yeah,
It's not Smash and Splash. It's not Smash and Splash where you have to play your pool hours later.
Yeah, Smash and Splash. I've told a story before, but my pool started at 8:00, right? 8 p.m. And I was in my friend's hotel room, and he's like, "Aren't you supposed to go?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm not gonna show up. It's not starting yet." I go downstairs at 10:00, and I showed up an hour early. So it was not anywhere near that. It was the exact opposite. I showed up. It was I think my pool started at 1 p.m. and then my first match started at 1:15. You know, like I was not waiting at all.
I noticed that because the way the streams ran, like they ran really, really quickly, and in fact, the pools would end. I forget what was there, a total of 8 pools and then 2 different waves, and I think it was like 2 hours per wave, and the waves were ending like 20 minutes early at one point. They were almost running too fast, which is like you never see. Nothing really got held up, and yeah, I've especially from a streaming aspect, I've never seen that. Usually, you're just trying to you're like cutting someone off before just to have a quick break between the next pool. It's never that early, so that was something, and that's like that. Yeah, that really doesn't happen, and that's a big deal too. Because as you mentioned, like if you are competing, that affects you a lot. Like if something starts late or early or anything, like it's a whole mentality thing.
And another cool thing was that the tournament was really like it was like a lot of different rooms. So like
compartmentalized.
Yep.
yeah, that's the word I was going to say, but then I stumbled.
The carpenter.
Yeah, Jesus.
He was a carpenter.
Yeah. So like usually in big tournaments or just tournaments in general, it's just one really big room, and it gets really stuffy because like everyone's just breathing the same air. But like
Facts.
it was nice to like have the little like sections in between. Like there was like the artist alley was like in the middle of both of them, and there was like this like the lobby and the upstairs part of the lobby, and there was like setups on that floor too, and there was the 2 tournament rooms. And, you know, like so you'd be like, oh, okay, it's getting kind of stuffy in here. I'm gonna go somewhere else, and then you like walk around for a bit, and then go to the other tournament room, and you're like you see your friends playing there. So it was like really nice, like to navigate there instead of it just being one huge room.
Yeah, that's true. There was like a lot of separation between everything, and that is you don't always see that really. In fact, you never do.
Yeah, like usually in these hotel tournaments, you run into like the logistical issue of space, which is why most tournaments like choose to run in convention centers to begin with and have the one big open room. But like, I love the way that everything was laid out in the hotel, like you said, like having the setups like outside on the balcony, like right when you get up the stairs was fun, And like you said, just like having that like that breathing room is like, okay, like, you know, it's getting kind of gross in here. Let me just go like walk around like, and in my experience throughout the weekend, I didn't really have a problem finding a friendly setup. Like, there's tons of places to play, and
Yeah.
and that's a huge thing for me. Like when I'm at a major, especially the ones that have like the 24-hour venues, which is like a big like advertising point now, which I didn't really realize until like I kind of talked about it out loud. Where it's like a lot of these places are advertising like right out the gate that like, oh hey, we're open for 24 hours venue wise. So like having the space to play for me, that was huge too. So
Yeah, I mean, I actually have it on the screen now, essentially what the room kind of looked like. This was probably, I would say, peak crowd maybe was the Tri-State versus everyone crew battle. Do you think that's fair, or do you think it was top 8 was bigger?
the crew battle felt bigger.
Yeah,
in
because,
my
like,
opinion.
I mean, look at this. This
I mean,
is this is a
I wasn't in
lot.
for the crowd for the crew battle, so it's hard to like judge.
I mean,
Like
either way.
I'm just kind of looking at the seats, and there was definitely a handful of empty seats for top 8.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's gonna
because
happen.
also on
It's a
Sunday. Yeah,
so,
also on
yeah.
Sunday. But regardless, like, so right, there were friendlies going on in this room, and there was like a whole other like, was there like a couple of rooms basically. There was like coming down from like the whole event. There was like kind of like that room before the stairs that had some setups,
Yeah,
and like a
and
whole
that's not
nother
even
room with setups.
yeah, and there was a VIP room
There was a
upstairs
VIP
too,
room,
so,
yes.
With fruit roll-ups.
which somebody ate all of them.
Like one person ate all of them.
Yeah,
Whoa, that's amazing. I want to ask, but
It was
I won't expose them right now.
yeah. Shout out to the Hoot Zone. That was definitely of the place to be. Also,
Yeah,
can we talk about how
water, and they had like granola bars, and gum.
can we talk about how Vinny was the only person that didn't wear a sweatshirt to this final?
Dude, this is because he's stylish, dude. He's gotta put the style out, and I appreciate that. He's trying to stunt a little bit. He's got the tattoo across his chest, like. That's how
Yeah,
you do
no,
it.
he dresses really well. Like low key. When when I first met Vinny, it was nothing but like wife beaters and like gym shorts. But like now when he gives a shit, my man knows how to dress.
Oh yeah.
That's facts. But yeah, so from production side, Chris, it sounded like you had a pretty good time this weekend.
So I'm just looking at this even now. The crew battle was just a single stream, so I was actually checked out at this point. But I really do appreciate, like, I don't know if you guys, well, I know you guys know, but anyone who's listening to this who watched a tournament or is just learning about it now, there was a balcony to where all the production happened, including where commentators are hanging, as you know, Koopa, because you were up there quite a bit, that overlooked this whole scene. And I don't know, it's difficult. There's a lot of wires that run basically from your actual computer to the setup. So like setup for this thing was interesting, but seeing it all kind of done after the room was just like empty, obviously before we set it up, was definitely satisfying. And looking back on it, like it looks really good.
Yeah, I agree. Like having the commentators like looking like the balcony and the chandeliers, like part of me wanted to channel my Andrew Lloyd Webber and just like jump out on the chandelier and start singing show tunes.
Dude, that was a heck of a jump though. You would have needed to lasso that bad boy.
Yeah, listen, if Gerard Butler can do it, I can do it too. So,
Are you a butler?
I'm the fan of the opera. I
Yeah,
can do whatever I want.
Here's a chandelier here. So, I guess with all that, the actual like tournament itself, I mean, there was like riddled in upsets, which makes a lot of sense because a lot of people traveled here. I know, like, there was some international presence. Raito was there. T was there.
Kameme was there.
Kameme was there.
A lot of the familiar Japanese players were there. Like, I believe the statistics were it's the second largest tournament ever in the tri-state area. And like the first ever S tier or something like that.
It's not the biggest, I thought, or maybe just the biggest in the city is what I heard.
I heard it's not as big as Apex 2015. That's all I understand.
Okay.
So it's at least top 2 in regards to size of people that were there, and the first like S tier in the tri-state region, ever.
The logistics of this are interesting too. There's obviously quite a bit of Canadian players there, and that's because EvenMatchup Gaming, who is from Canada, essentially was the lead on this tournament. They organized it. And that did add a bit of a dynamic because this area always pops off. This area being like New York, New Jersey, whether you want to call Philly or Connecticut, whatever you want to call Tri-State. Wow, that was nuts. Sorry, I was just watching T survive that down air. But anyways, yeah, so usually you don't see a lot of that because the area always pops off, but it doesn't always get a lot of visitors like this. But having like an even matchup did present opportunity for some of those guys to show up, and it did. It was a good recipe for basically upsets, and there were quite a few. I don't know. Probably should have had a thread prepared for this. I'm sure it's on Reddit.
Yeah,
Basically,
so
what the big
no,
upsets were.
I know the PG Stats Twitter usually has like a thread, but like I think some of the big ones, like Riddles obviously over Tweak, MVD seeding wise over Tweak was a big one. Tweak got I think
I think he got
25th
like
or something.
25th or something.
Yeah, he got 25th because he would have had to win his next round to make it out. No, I think he got 17th actually. I'm not sure. Regardless, he plays bad for his
for
standards.
for his standards, absolutely. I mean, Tweak is an amazing player. Number 2 in the world for a while. People were saying where it was the popular opinion for the bulk of this game's like life.
And he still could. He still could be.
He still could be. Totally.
That's something we can talk about later as the PGR V2 is going to start trickling out. Once you guys get this podcast, it'll probably start trickling out on Monday, I think. So, we shall see what happens there. But yeah, he took a hard L this weekend. Void took a hard L this weekend. Black Twins took a hard L this weekend. JW took a hard L this weekend. Like a lot of players that are like kind of household names, like definitely had some rough goings this weekend.
Raito got like
a bajillion's place.
Yeah, he kind of got like bodied by Zomba.
He ate mega shit this weekend. Actually,
dude,
hype. Zomba's hype.
That's what I was gonna get at. Zomba. I mean, what's Zomba like? 15? Is he 15?
I think he's 14.
He's 14. He's a child. He's a child. So then you have like a local child who does grind. I mean, Zomba goes to a lot of locals. A lot of locals. He's there, and he grinds, and he's a product of this area because of that. So, you do get a Raito in the area who's like obviously internationally known and PGR'd and all these impressive things. It is very much a recipe, as I mentioned coming in this conversation, for upsets and stuff, and that's what makes this particular area as exciting as it was. So like having the spotlight in a little bit of a different way, I do think goes a long way for this stuff. I don't know, because
upsets are healthy. I mean, people look at upsets as like this sort of bad thing, but like
no, I think it's great.
It depends.
Well, what's your take on it then?
Well, it's like when you see like all right, when it's like, oh, this guy clearly didn't know the matchup, so he got destroyed. Like that sucks. But when it's an up and coming player, he's like playing a top tier, and then he beats another player, like another top player. It's like, oh, that's really cool. Like that just means that like you see that like he just kind of got one over on him. Like he outplayed him a lot and whatever.
So would you say you felt bad for Black Twins when he lost to the Duck Hunt?
Yeah, I would say that.
Okay. I'm just trying to make sure we're on the same page here.
So
yeah, I guess I can understand.
I'm looking at the bracket now, and the funny thing is though as I'm just looking at what Smash GG has places 1 through 25, and you look at the placings and nothing's really that surprising. Nairo winning is a huge deal, by the way. That's like the prophecy being fulfilled locally.
Well, especially when you look at his losers bracket run, like holy shit.
Yeah, let's look at it right now.
Like he had to beat a lot of people.
Wow, he sure did.
It's not like SmashCon 2017 Nairo good, but like it's still pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
the thing is that the cool thing was that it's like the first like Tri-State S tier, and then like grand finals is like narrowed the buzz. Like.
Yeah, it's like a K-Tar, but like on
two
steroids.
Classic Tri-State players. Like you could not get more classic Tri-State players, like at least for this like Ultimate and Smash 4 era, than Nairo and the Buzz. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Especially like on a local level, I'll say DeBuzz, because DeBuzz He still
No,
goes
the
like
buzz goes out there.
he goes to
He goes
locals,
to
man.
Xeno. He
Dude,
goes to
he goes to
DNA.
DNA now. Nairo
Yeah.
doesn't as much, but like Nairo is a whole another tier in with himself being the biggest Smash
Yeah,
streamer.
I mean,
And
Nairo definitely is like a big supporter of New Jersey. You know, like he like will donate pop bonuses. He'll show up to like the Arcadian to play with like friendlies
yeah,
with
he's done it a
people.
couple times
He'll
by now.
he'll retweet the streams. Like
Yeah,
he's,
or he'll even like put it on his own stream sometimes.
Yeah, so that
So
was
yeah,
kind of cool. Going into it, kind of seeing that be the result here, and having the tournament run so well. But regardless, you're looking at the top 8 here. Nothing all too surprising. Yeah, you do have Nairo, you do have DeBuzz, Kameme, T, Mars, MVD, Meister, which I actually think MVD. I don't know what his seed was, but I mean that's a pretty good tournament for him because
yeah, he'd had a streak. I was saying it on the actual top 8 cast, but like he'd had a streak of like kind of mediocre finishes, like a lot of 17ths and like 25ths and stuff. Because like that's just kind of I think that's just kind of the meta catching up with Snake a bit. But no, MVD had a great showing this weekend. Obviously beating Tweak and local hero Justin. But getting he ran into a blender in top 8. Like that was kind of rough. Like Kameme kind of made him look like he made that matchup look
Foolish.
yeah,
really bad.
he did. And
then Nairo, and
he
Nairo
won
was
the
a matchup.
tournament. Yeah, I mean Nairo won. So,
Yeah.
yeah, he was just a part of his losers run. But anyways, you keep going, Meister, Dark Wizzy, Samsora, Light, and then you just keep reading. You're like, wow, there are a lot of people here. And then like you just see like then it starts to get to a point where you see Toast at 13th, which might be the only. I mean, Toast is obviously very good, but that might be like the only thing that looks a little bit out of place. Even Sinji coming in at 9th, in my opinion, is very much in place. And then like,
I don't think I don't think Sinji getting 9th.
no, I think that's
norm.
no. Wait, you don't think it's the norm?
No, like, I thought you were implying that like that was
No.
Like,
I think that fits.
Okay.
I think right after that, once you get to the 13th, is like where it gets a little hairy because, I mean, you're still getting really good quality players here. Like obviously, Wadi is someone who's like a top 8 contender. Rafi is just amazing in his region, and not that he's not a top 8 contender, but he's I mean he's not PGR stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
like stuff like
Sure.
Shine, where he performed really well.
So he's
That's
on
why these like that's why these in between seasons, like in between like the official rankings and stuff like that, are like a little awkward because like you kind of have to like guesstimate like how Rafi getting 13th could be looked at as strange, but like Rafi's probably going to be like a low spot on the PGR coming up this season, and
Yeah,
I believe
very
Toast.
possible.
Yeah, and I think Toast is from Texas.
I believe
Is that the
so.
region?
Yes. Yep. He came with a few of the other guys from Texas. So,
Yeah, shout out to Texas.
So here's the thing though, is right. So but you're seeing like Goblin, you're seeing shout out to Zamba 17th. Speaking of Zamba, but yeah, you're seeing Goblin. Then you see like Anti, Tweak, Riddles. Even Riddles has won like did he win an A tier? Was it? But regardless, and Mutace, like all those guys, like those are like top 5 placers most times, and you're kind of seeing that in the middle of the pack here, which is nuts.
Yeah, definitely powerhouse like players.
Yeah, man, that's a lot. That's a lot of power.
Yeah, like Goblin's coming off of a lot of success. Mutace has won tournaments, but like
yeah, Louis Money in 25th. Like Louis Money is another one, dude. Remember? Like
yeah, I did not even know he was there.
Yeah,
dude, he was at Xeno the Wednesday afterwards. I'm like, why is Louis Money at Xeno? Like, what the hell? Like, and it's almost, I was like, yeah, let's make a moves. Like, I did not see him the whole weekend. And then Kyle reminded me, he's like, yeah, you just didn't place like as high as you would want to.
Yeah, Louis with the quietest 25th of all time because like someone didn't even know he was in the venue. Like
I didn't see him on stream or anything. Maybe I probably missed it.
He was on stream Friday for like the side event stuff, but like he must have gotten upset earlier or something. So like he didn't really get a lot of stream time.
Yeah.
Also, Jackal lost to Samsora and Mutace. I guess does that imply a Peach problem? I guess or.
It's kind of Peach, kind of the Wolf. Like Peach Wolf's kind of hard.
That makes sense. There's a lot of just things Peach has.
Yeah,
to keep
it's funny because Jude had a deja vu bracket of what happened at Big House because he had to beat Larry and then he won Game 5 with Samsora.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
You
I
hate
mean,
to
it
see
happened at Shine. Well, like we had to like play Sam Sora after he got a few upsets.
Right.
So it's always like Sam Sora. Like he's always seeded against. It's like one or two things, and sometimes both. It's like Larry. It's either to fight Larry or it's to fight Sam Sora. You know what I mean? Because even when he went to like, I think it was Nightmare on Smashville, like
Yeah.
he had to play Larry there, and
And then Larry.
there was another Tri-State event, I think, where he had to play Larry. I forgot. May not have been Tri-State. I don't know. I'm
No,
losing track.
it was Big House.
Oh, okay. I'm losing track.
Yeah, because like I saw Larry, like I didn't really get to see a lot of people Sunday. I saw him. He's like, yeah, I lost a Jackal. I'm just like, they really made you guys play again? And yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not sure what else you guys got on this, but I do know there were some other tournaments and stuff that. I mean, this is a week. I don't want to call it a week late, but I mean, this tournament happened last week, and it has been a little bit slow in between because there are big tournaments coming up. Like Glitch is next week, and
Genesis is the week after
Genesis
that.
the week after. So this was a little bit of like a quiet week, which kind of made me feel okay about delaying this. But in either case. Yeah, I don't know where you guys want to go next. I mean, did you have anything left on Let's Make Big Moves or?
Nairo was sick, and like it was funny because well, number one, I got to do part of the top 8, which was cool because it's I set a goal for myself last year where I wanted to commentate like a deeper part in bracket of like an S or an A tier tournament, and like I accomplished that. So I was tooting my own horn. I was proud of myself for that because especially it was a great top 8 to begin with. But I was saying like I was looking at Nairo's bracket. I'm just like, oh, so Sam Sora lost to Meister and Nairo hasn't lost to Meister. So I'm just like, okay, like this is actually like shaping up to be like a pretty good Nairo bracket for losers side of things. And then like naturally because it's Nairo, nothing ever goes easy. And so. Like I even said it on the podcast, or not the podcast, but the stream that like Nairo is like a notorious like slow starter. Like that's why I think he's always way better in the longer sets because I'm definitely accustomed to him putting himself in the 2-0 hole against somebody and then just like making the necessary adjustments. Why if you're gonna upset Nairo, you have to upset him in like pools. But,
yeah, 2 out
the
of
best
3.
Well,
Stuff
dude,
like that.
yeah.
And the thing is like how many reverse 3-0s did he had? He had that one against Meister, and was there another one?
He went in game 5 with Kameme. He went game 5 with T. He went game 5 with the Buzz.
Jeez,
Yeah, and like
putting on a show, man.
the Buzz sat like he like won game 1, and then like the Buzz took 2 games, and then the 4th game the Nairo was losing like by a considerable amount, and then he ended up winning, and then he won game 5. Like,
and then he 3-0'd him in a reset. Like by that point, the download had been complete.
Yeah.
The walk up slowly back throw. Love it. I almost missed my bus. I almost missed my bus getting home just to watch Nairo win. So good on him. But yeah, like Nairo's sick, man, and like I'm so happy that he's finally like coming around, like into form. Like, for a while it was a little weird. It's a lot of 5ths, a lot of 9th places. But I think Nairo has a strong case to be like a top 3. I think he's the third. He's gonna be third on the upcoming PGR. Like that's
Some people say he might even be second, but yeah,
I don't.
third.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he's at least top 3. Like top 2 is debatable, but definitely a top 3 player. Like so, and I think the scene's a better place when Nairo is doing well, and everyone accepted that Palutena is a necessary evil that we must protect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but that's my big takeaway. So the tournament was a lot of fun. It was a fun combination of like tri-state and like out of region people, and I can't wait for to make more big moves. So
yeah, dude. Well, it's definitely coming back next year. That's for sure.
So you like to move it?
Stop. I'm just gonna ignore you.
I'm sorry.
What's your final takeaway from the tournament, guys?
I think I gotta tell you, I don't think I've ever really seen a big tournament, especially. It felt very homegrown outside of like the boost from like EMG overall, And that felt familiar, but what felt unfamiliar was like the out of region presence. And I will say it was like the perfect spice. And the fact that this tournament ran as well as it did is such a rarity. So like all in all, I don't know. It was a good experience.
Yeah,
It deserves to come back for sure.
You actually brought up a point that I was gonna bring up earlier, but just to add on to what I was saying, like number one, like it felt very cozy and like homemade, and like I brought my my girlfriend on Friday, and she even said it's like, yeah, like everybody knows each other here, like that's kind of cool, and like it feels very
Yeah.
cozy and homey, like, and like it also shows that if you hire the like whether it be volunteers and tournament organizers and streamers, then like shit gets done right. Like,
Yeah.
like I wasn't upset with any of the pool captains. Like Hungry said, like everybody was doing a great job. Like shout out to guys like Kelvin and Flygon, and you know, just a lot of like local faces that people, like hardworking TOs and streamers and people that I know that wouldn't really get a sniff otherwise. But like I'm really happy that everybody, you know, they had the right people in place, because like I trust those guys with my life in regards to brackets. So
Absolutely. Yeah, it was good stuff.
and the cantina, love the cantina.
Love the cantina. Yeah, I don't know. The city, I gotta tell you, I'm okay with it. But like, for if I had to do this once a year, like I'd be like, okay, like I'll do it. That's basically how I feel about it. And I feel like if you're someone thinking about traveling to tournaments, it could be similar. Rooms are pretty cheap, all things considered.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That's actually another down thing that I had. The hotels were not as nice as I thought they were.
No, the hotel. I'll be real with you. The hotel kind of sucked. I didn't really like the hotel. I didn't love the hotel, but like
the toilet.
I didn't stay there. I lived like across the river.
Yeah,
so
you're lucky, but like if you had to stay there, I don't know. The hotel wasn't the best, but it was very affordable, and
I can always tell how nice the hotel's gonna be depending on how nice the toilet is. And the toilet looked like just a regular ass toilet.
My sink just wasn't draining, and that was enough for me.
No,
it was pretty. Yeah, it really felt bad, but it's it's okay. I survived. I was only there I stayed there like 3 days because of setup and everything, but whatever.
I mean, not only is the sink draining, not like honestly, it's like bad. Like you're like, man, this is really convenient, but for it also like for some reason like puts in a sense of panic, and you're like, oh no.
Well, yeah, because you gotta be smart about your water consumption. Not that you should be, but you have to be.
There was 4 knobs on the shower. I'm just like, what do I do?
Oh my god, dude! Did yours come out very hard and painful? Because
yes.
Yeah, so that, and it would just go from being freezing cold to just being boiling hot and not able to do anything.
I just had Vivid flat get the shower pressure. Yeah, but anyway, besides that, everything else is great.
Everything else, yeah, it was definitely good. It's definitely good.
But yeah, as we continue on here, catching up with more recent stuff. So there were a couple tournaments that happened this weekend. We are recording this on a Sunday, so everything has been finished nicely. So the next edition of Overclocked happened, which you can briefly touch on. Mars won.
Yeah.
To nobody's surprise.
I'm trying to find the VODs for that right now.
I don't think Mars ever won an Overclocked for Smash 4 though. He always got second.
Yeah, that's very true. He was runner up a lot, and then he's since kicked it bracket curse and hasn't lost one that he's attended, because the one that he didn't win was one that he wasn't at. So
that's actually kind of sick.
Yeah, shout out to
I was actually surprised because we were watching it at my friend's house, and we were kind of mopping the floor light. I was like, this is weird.
Yeah, that matchup is he whatever it is, man. Mars just
Light won winners finals, and it was a close game 5, and then grand finals he destroyed him. It was really really bad. He 6-0'd him, I think.
He did. You're correct on that.
I was just like, what's happening?
Yeah, when Mars is on, he's really fucking good. So
yeah,
good on him. Jackal I think he got 5th, I believe.
Yeah, he got 5th. Lade got 5th. Sinji got 4th, by the way. I didn't realize he made the trip, but he did. And then Juice coming in at 7th. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. PA always try they've been planning to go to Overclock, but every time they plan to go, something horrible goes wrong. Or one of their drivers oversleeps, and or
Classic.
yeah, you hate to see it. So
that's
find new friends. Find new friends that wake up on.
Yeah.
That's my
Unfortunately, Juice and Jekyll had to play each other, and Jekyll ended up winning. But you never want to see them play like out of region.
I
Like
just, I just realized Leon went too. Leon's been in those weird middle placings, probably because it's tough playing Bowser, man, especially consistently.
yeah.
yeah.
What place did he get?
He got
I can't
13th.
see it there. What?
He got 13th. He lost the DM, which is understandable. Pikachu Bowser sounds terrible, and then Juice.
Yeah.
And Juice is just incredible, and Bowser's a big hitbox. And Falco
Yeah.
plays single player.
Oh,
so.
Maverick Hunter got 17th. That's not bad.
No, not
Let's
bad
go,
at all.
Mav.
Yeah, losing the Jackal, so that's
This is not good.
Yeah.
Leon lost to Juice. Maverick Hunter lost.
Dude, it's fixed. No wonder. Dude, New England's a bunch of cheaters. No wonder they always defend so well.
rigged.
Top
And
three.
we all know
Top
the
three.
riggers.
Mars Light, Raffi, please. That's
Imagine driving 4 hours.
To play Fusion.
Yeah.
To play to play winners quarters of Fusion.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Poor,
Yeah.
poor Mav.
That's that is unfortunate, dude. But yeah, there were a few other guys traveling out of region. I actually see Abs here as another Philly guy getting 25th, which I feel like is pretty good because I think he's pretty middle ranged.
Yeah, I'm happy he's coming out more, man. I love Abs.
Yeah, Abs is cool.
Yeah, dude.
Beast got 17th, so like everybody's doing their part. I'm afraid. I wish I was. I had plans to go to Overclock, but I fell a little sick after Let's Make Big Moves, so I decided to take that time to stay home.
In the shower.
Come on, man. That's a real thing,
dude. So what's pretty crazy is this tournament had 200 and something amount of people.
256 entrants or something. I think a cap.
240 was the cap.
Okay,
apparently, because that's what the bracket says right here. And then, in another state away was Xeno, which also I think had like 120 and kind of got thrown together last minute. Dude, being in the city is so good for attendance. Let me just say.
Seriously.
But
yeah, I think Jen won Xeno this weekend, correct?
He did, which is really good for him because I know he hasn't necessarily been winning tournaments, but he's been playing really, really good Smash, like consistently.
And so I want to talk about that a little bit. The best thing about that tournament was usually how New York works. It's like, all right, the Buzz is number one, and then like you have like Jen and Venya who are like tearing it up at locals and other places, right? But it's always like the Buzz is on top. But this time the Buzz got third, losing to Jen and Venya. You know what I mean?
Damn, that's hype.
And the last times that Jen and Venya have played the Buzz, they also beat him. So it's like now the Buzz like a little bit on a losing streak against them too.
Ooh.
And they had like a crazy like winners finals, like crazy like grand finals reset. Like it was like they basically played 3 times, I believe. Like it was nuts. Like really entertaining sets.
North Jersey, baby.
Yeah. So it's a really cool for like Jen to like beat the Buzz and then beat Venya twice,
Especially because Jen, like we said, like has played like third banana to like well, I'd say more like second banana because he goes on streaks where he beats Venya a lot. But
yeah, there's definitely like a little bit of a rivalry there.
Absolutely. But I know there's been like instances where like they've had to play like big tournaments, Venya, not have Jen and the Buzz, and like Jen's kind of like fallen a game or two short, and like now that he's like finally starting to like click with it, it's like I said, thank your local Palatana, man. Like they're doing the hard work for you, and I just like Jen. Like obviously, like we all have a me and Hungry at least have a very close relationship with him.
He's the pro tag in New York. He's just it's just what it is.
He's my big stupid son.
Don't forget to tip your Palatanas.
and your Wolfmanes. Well, maybe the Wolfmanes.
But yeah, dude, this was hold on, let me get back to the bracket because I did see a few things that were notable. Vivi coming in at 4th, I think is really good.
Yeah, Vivi's been kind of hot lately.
Yeah, dude, Vivi for a while. I feel like Vivi is always pretty consistent. He grinds too, dude.
Well, usually it was like he was like doing hot at DNAs, but now he's like doing it hot at Xeno too, where he's like getting second like to Venya, and like usually taking a set off him too. So
I don't know who Camex is, but he lost to him and DeBuzz, and I mean losing to DeBuzz is pretty normal. Speaking of losing to DeBuzz, Zamba coming in at 5th, also taking that L, which, I mean, if you haven't noticed the trend, Zamba is incredibly good and also 14.
Yeah, I think he took a game off him too, though.
Which, yeah, and it's one of those scary things. I just thinking about younger players and Zamba in particular is just the ability to pick up lots of characters and be pretty good with them. Because, like,
You think the Buzz is masks? You think the Buzz masks his power level sometimes?
I think it's
I don't
possible.
think so, man. I think
but-
he like wants to win. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
But like maybe he'll like try new things, or like try new characters. Like well, for a while, like he was like only going Rosa at Xeno, and then like going like Olimar in bracket, and then eventually Rosa was also like in like the bigger brackets too.
Well,
Right.
So
that's true because in the last DNA, not the last one, 2 DNAs ago, the one he went to, I think he went all Rosa and completely. So just getting that experience, and so I guess if you're doing that, even in a bracket, that's tough. You know, you're willing to kind of lose. I don't know if he went all Rosa. And actually, I could look because Xeno's VODs are up. So let me just take a quick look at that because I'm kind of curious. Yeah, it looks like he went all Rosa from what I see in the thumbnails.
yeah,
Da Rosa.
So it seems likely to me that he's mostly just trying out the character and you know, win or lose, and that's the growing pains of a different character choice. But
The Buzz in a constant state of sending the "you up" text to Rosalina.
yeah, man. And seeing a little bit of New Jersey coming in the top 8. Lemon T, just kind of hype. Coming in.
Yeah,
at
he's had like a
7.
really good couple of weeks.
Yeah, he is, man. He is indeed, because I don't really see anyone else in New Jersey anywhere. Okay, there's Hayes in 13th place. So outside of that,
Yeah, like,
it's looking like a normal Xeno, really.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lemon Tea also like made it out of winner side at Let's Make Big Moves. So
Yeah,
he's
dude,
definitely he's riding a hot streak.
Yeah, that's good for him, man. Oh wow, look at that. Helper got 9th place. That's cool.
It's the dog power up.
Dude, definitely a dog power up. That's cheap.
His dog is so cute.
Yeah, it's freaky.
Yeah,
it's also like the most well behaved dog I've ever met in my entire life. Like
It's-
doesn't bark, doesn't like bother anybody. Like very comfortable being like touched by strangers. Like my God,
it's
like give that dog an award.
it's good dog.
Very good dog. Look.
And then I don't know, man. I don't really think there's tournament wise. That's kind of it. We already kind of mentioned it was kind of slow weekend in between, you know, kind of sandwiched between big tournaments.
Yeah, it's funny a slow weekend even in like really like relatively long running series.
Well, Glitch was a B
monthlies.
tier, by the way. I mean that was a thing. I kind of forgot to mention that when we were talking about it. And then
Glitch was a B tier.
No,
Or
I'm sorry,
Overclocked was a B tier.
Overclocked. I'm sorry, Overclocked was a B tier. And then Glitch, I think, is going to be an A tier, maybe, which is this weekend coming up.
Yes, sir. Which both myself and Chris.
Yeah, man, I will be there and I will be streaming.
I will be commentating. I just don't know when yet. So
I will be home.
Watching
sad.
the streaming and the commentating. Speaking of the commentating, that was kind of a hot topic recently, and I kind of tossed it in today because I see it come up, and it's something that I see it on a weekly basis. I see everything from awful commentary of locals, because that's what happens at locals, because it's a lot of just like, you know, local people, not professional casters, to professional casting that's actually quite good. And I think sometimes it all gets mixed around, and I think people actually lose track as to why these things are. So, you know, I'm never shy to point attention at stuff like this.
Sure. Yeah. So, like, the reason I think this is important is because this is a big like topic of conversation. Like after Let's Make Big Moves, like it's the same cycle. I feel like I make the same tweet like every like 4 or 5 months, like after a big major, where like people just like want to play armchair commentator and like think that they know better than everyone that's like in the venue. Like it's frustrating, and I guess now's a better time than ever to like bring up that state of the commentary address. And it's just like, hey, like this is my reminder that, you know, not everybody is if you're an up and coming commentator, not everyone's gonna like what you sound like or you bring to the table, and that's okay. Like if you're a good commentator, the right people will tell you so. Like just because some, you know, Johnny 69420 in Twitch chat doesn't like you, like doesn't mean that you're a bad commentator. But like, you know, it doesn't mean that you also are like shouldn't ignore criticism from like the right people.
Mhm.
If that makes any sense to what I'm saying.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting though because you'll see all different levels of commentators all the time, depending on what kind of tournaments you watch, and sometimes it's hard to know what kind of tournaments you watch because you'll watch something that lets make big moves where a lot of the commentators, I would say 90% of them, if not 100, depending on the tournament. I don't mean let's make big moves in particular, but let's just say any big tournament in the area, regional, major, whatever. So you'll get a mix of commentators, sometimes local, sometimes they were flown out or whatever, or featured. And you get a mix, and you might like them, you might not, and that kind of goes to what you were just saying, Koopa. But like when you're watching locals, like there's no like scheduled talent. Like if you're watching a weekly stream or even a monthly stream, like it's you're dealing with local people. So I think sometimes saying like, oh, commentary in Smash is bad is easy to say because all the streams blend together, and there's quantity wise, there's way more local streams, way more eclipses the amount of like big major streams that you'll see. So it's like
Sure.
keeping that in mind, it's like okay, let's recognize that the streams are organic and a lot of locals do comprise of a lot of young people, and casting's
And,
difficult. Learning that is not
yeah.
easy.
And the problem you also run into in Smash is that Smash, quote unquote, a poverty esport. Like there
Hmm.
isn't. People say that there isn't an incentive for people to like get better at commentary because most people are doing this as a hobby. Like even like the 1% of guys that like have made it, like your TK,
Yep.
your TK Breezes, your D1s, etc. Like they're still content creators as like a day job. So like even they're not doing this all like full time. But like I don't do this as a full time gig. Hazmat doesn't do this as a full-time gig. But like that's why I still take it very seriously because it's a job that like I am being hired to do, and like it's a job that I like to do also. So
Well, that's the thing is like I think of that too. Like speaking of just being good at things and whether it pay off or not. Like I don't know. You think about Olympians, dude. Like those guys don't get paid anything to be like an Olympian outside of like endorsements. Like it's a very one-to-one basis. Just because you're good at something doesn't necessarily mean it translates to money. But regardless, it's a big incentive. So that being said, go easy on the commentators if you're a casual Twitch chatter and just want to talk shit on them because chances are, I would say 95% chance are, 99% chance are they're not professional. They're
yeah,
just a person trying to enjoy it just like you're trying to enjoy watching. So if you're gonna
I
be
read I
if you're gonna criticize, be constructive is my
yeah
only note.
I read back Twitch chat like as like once me and Haz were on top 8. There's like so many people like they're just like with no context, just like trash commentator, and I was like, bro, do you even know who I am? Like,
Well, that's the problem is like there's no context. So it's just like, you might have a valid point, maybe, but like I'll never know because all you said was just something sucks without any
Yeah, it's
additional
just like what can you
feedback.
expect though? You know what I mean?
Of course, and that's Twitch chat, which I think is the most interesting thing in the world, honestly, dude. The Twitch chat during the VG the VG Bootcamp stream, because I got to see it since I was streaming for VG Bootcamp, it was quite unique. Um, yeah, sometimes more interesting than the actual matches, and not in any kind of related way. I don't know. That's like a whole bigger human condition topic for another day, but man,
like
it is
it's
something.
just like if you're an up and coming commentator, like they're the people that are gonna criticize you. Like you'll understand what's proper criticism, and what's just like people that are just trying to like get their voices heard, or like a screen cap to put on Twitter. Like X commentator sucks and I don't like them is not valid criticism. That's just somebody's opinion. Like I've gotten good criticism from Twitch chat before, and then I've also had Twitch chat tell me that I'm a thick goddess. I'm the great and great sweatpants. So
Jesus.
like you know,
Dude,
like
dude, people are wild, man. I love it.
That's nuts.
Like where did it come from?
you know where that one comment came from?
Where?
VG boot camp.
Dude, of course, dude. I don't know. I
Shout
don't
out to
get how that
VG, man.
chat is like that, but it is. It's amazing.
I have a screenshot of it somewhere on my phone, but shout out to VG, man. That they're great. But yeah,
They're
like you
halfway to
like
Florida from here.
yeah, hey, what do you got? But yeah, just like the like I hold criticism from certain people like in higher regard than others. Like if Chris or Hungry, like someone in my close immediate circle told me that there's something I need to work on, then obviously I'm gonna listen to that more than like I said, Johnny 2x4, where it's just like, I don't like your face. They're like, I don't like that joke you made 6 months ago with that one guy. Like, so I don't like you as a commentator. It's like, okay, bro.
It was Plank, dude.
It was Plank.
Damn.
Or what was the superhero that he was? Captain.
He's the Splinter.
You're right. Okay.
Captain Splinter, I think.
Yeah. God. Great show.
And Melonhead.
Yeah, that's what it was. Melonhead. Ed and Eddie's great, but yeah. Anyway, like I said, like filter out your criticism and just understand that, like, if you want to be the numbers type and like be super analytical and like do you, but like understand that just because nobody else, like, not everyone's gonna vibe with that. Like, some people want to be bored to tears with numbers for a top 8, and some people want to laugh for 3 hours. So you just gotta understand. Like, I think said it the best, where he was like, the goal is to like not, you can't impress everybody. You just gotta like make the least amount of people upset. I'm just like, yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. So
That's reasonable. Yeah.
and I always make myself like open to criticism, because like it's easy to fall into complacency sometimes, because nobody tells you you're doing anything wrong. So what's the expression? No news is good news, or something like that. So
Well, the one last note on Twitch chat is I feel like that gets in itself a little bit like its own kind of game, and I think a lot of times if you hear like anything negative in Twitch chat, it's usually someone just trying to like instigate some sort of tangent from chat, because watching chat just go nuts and just like totally fight itself is something. It is something to see.
just Garfield copy pastas.
Yeah, like I'm at a point where there's actually a command for that. It's exclamation point. It's exclamation point lasagna. And if you guys are ever feeling spaghetti, or you just feel like you just really got to get the Tourette's out, or that, I don't mean to be offensive. If you really just got to get something out of yourself and you want spam, just type in exclamation point lasagna if you're in MHG chat. And
Gotta release some endorphins.
yeah, like go for it. Keep it to that though. Keep anything related to like political conversation out of my chat, please.
Yeah,
That was the worst part of VG's chat.
Oh yeah,
During Let's Make Big Moves, it was awful.
Oh boy, it's all Hungry's fault.
Way to go, man.
No problem.
Anyway, but yeah, so that's pretty much it for what happened.
Yeah,
Like
I'm out of things to talk about. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, so like I said, like things going forward, like it's gonna be a fun rest of January. Like we say, Glitch is coming up next week, which is Pokemon themed, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
If I could, I'm so excited, man. Like I love Pokemon, and like Pokemon's been like kind of my side gig for a bit now, where I'm just trying to like learn about the competitive aspects of that and like what's good right now. And they had a Pokemon Direct over the week last week, which was interesting because
surprising. It was just like everyone was waiting for Smash, and it's like Pokemon. It's like, are you guys serious?
And you
no Smash.
And you got to hear about all the season passes and DLC.
Yeah, and we heard about the actual best news, the remake of Mystery Dungeon. I'm
excited. I've actually never like beaten Mystery Dungeons proper, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
like if it looks, the art style is growing on me a bit. I actually haven't played the demo yet. I haven't downloaded, but
there's a demo.
Yeah, there's a demo out right now. So it's like an hour long. Yeah, it's like an hour long demo. But yeah, I'm excited for that, and I'm excited for Pokemon being a bit progressive. And Masuda just came out and said like, yeah, like we're not doing a third version. We're just going to release DLC packs. And the Dexit people are in shambles. Like I knew the second that they when they said that they weren't adding every Pokemon like on base game, I'm just like, okay, they're probably just gonna release them in DLC packs, which is unfortunate, but hey, when you have 900 fucking creatures, like you gotta make sacrifices somehow. If you miss Caterpie that much, I don't. Well, that's a bad example because Butterfree's in the game, but like,
yeah, I was about to say, I'm like,
like if you miss
you're talking shit about Caterpie. Second, you're wrong. Third, I don't like you.
Well,
go on.
Let me gather my feelings for a second. But yeah, like if you miss like Weedle or like I don't know, like pick your starter. If you miss Torchic that much, and like just don't buy the game. And like my favorite thing on Reddit was like the decks of people were just like, oh, does it even matter if we don't buy the game? Because like it's breaking all these records. Like, what are we gonna do? And I'm just like, I don't know. Yeah, it's
point.
Yeah, it's very true. Like they're like, does it even matter if we didn't buy the game? I'm just like, no, it never did, because Pokemon sells like fucking hotcakes. Like,
Yeah.
so
It's not a reason to like be like, oh, so can't complain about it. You can still complain about it. I'm actually a very big advocate of complaining. Things don't happen if people don't complain.
That's fair. It's very true. Sonic wouldn't have changed if people.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
Yeah, and like so, like people I guess are kind of getting what they want because like they're getting in the first. So the first DLC pack is the Isle of Armor, the Isles of Armor, or something like that. Where like that's coming out in the summer, I think. I think that's what they said it was coming out.
Yeah,
it's coming out sometime in 2020, but
June,
that's the first of this.
June 2020.
Okay, so it's so it is a summer. So yeah, so they're adding 200 new Pokemon from that. And then you have the other one, the
Crown Tundra.
Yeah, the Crown Tundra, which is coming out in the
fall 2020.
Yeah, so they're gonna add more Pokemon in that, as well as bringing back all the legendaries. The VGC meta just got fucking weird.
But
like
they have that new Articuno though.
Yeah, like the regional variants of like the legendary birds, like they're like so fucking cool.
Which doesn't even make sense, but whatever. But
it definitely doesn't make sense. That's why I don't think that they're like regional variants. I just think they're like brand new like bird trios. I don't know. That just felt a little. And like fucking and then they gave you Cheese Slowpoke. Like that's cool. And like Slowpoke's gonna get 2 new evolutions, which is awesome. I said that Galarian Slowking is gonna wear snow pants. So but yeah, and the best part about it is you don't even need to buy the DLC pack if you just want the Pokemon. The Pokemon update is free. Like you can get all the Pokemon that are in the DLC pack without having to buy the DLC pack. So like
that's actually super cool.
Yeah, that's cool. So like they're I'm sure Game Freak was like, yeah, like we hear you guys, like sorry cut, little Timmy's favorite Pokemon. But like, hey, here's Volcarona, which I'm excited about. I love Volcarona. That Pokemon's busted. Heavy duty boots Volcarona? Zoinks.
Stop calling him that.
What?
The Tims, man.
That's what they. That's you know that's an item of Pokemon, right?
Oh, really? What they were Tims?
Well, that's the joke. There's an item in Pokemon Sword and Shield called Heavy Duty Boots, which means you don't take damage from entry hazards. And that was always Volcarona's biggest weakness.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up, actually. I don't like that.
It's pretty busted.
You need to die, bro. Because if you don't die, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, so like that was always Volcarona's like biggest problem was hazard control, and now it doesn't even have to fucking worry about that. So and then Garchomp gets Dragon Dance because it's a technical record. So like, I'm just like, oh man, the game's about to get really fucking weird. And then Landorus T,
Lando.
I'm not like talk to anybody that's like deep in the cut with Pokemon. They'll tell you how like excited and horrified they are for what's about to come down the pipeline. But yeah, good for Pokemon. I'm excited. That's gonna be. I'm excited just because like the third versions always feel like a waste of my time. Like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is like one of the biggest wastes of my time of like 2018 when those games came out.
It was great because I didn't buy it.
You're not that big of a Pokemon person, so
that's what people assume. But I actually like Pokemon a lot. I'm done with it.
That's fair.
Yeah. It's like how much Pokemon could you actually play in your life? It's like, all right, when I was a kid, I played Pokemon Yellow. I was a little bit older, I played Crystal and Crystal, and then a little bit older to that, I played Emerald. After that, I played Black and White too. Like, I kind of skipped for a bit. I didn't have a DS. Don't at me. All right, and then I played X and Y. You know what I mean? I'm like,
dude,
all right,
I agree.
I think I played enough fucking Pokemon.
I definitely agree with you. That's where I'm at with Pokemon in my life. I'm just like, I don't know, man.
They're
like it looks very cool.
The fucking same,
and like
they're not that different.
But it's that's fine though.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying like I'm done. Like
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, like on a personal level.
Yeah, it's like none of these games are objectively bad. It's like
no, they're good games. There's no
yeah,
problem
it's like
with the games.
It's the same thing with like stuff like Call of Duty. Like Call of Duty has never been bad. There's not a bad Call of Duty. They're just
that's
all
a good comparison.
Same shit. Like I'm fucking done. You know, I've put in hundreds of hours into multiple games. It's like no, I'm like not buy another one.
Yeah, man. When you're done, you're done.
Yeah, rant's over. Sorry. Not sorry, actually. Fuck you guys.
I just saw the picture you posted in the chat.
Yeah, boy. You can't trust them.
It's so stupid. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a new thing too. They got 2 new Reggies. That's gonna be kind of cool.
Reddies are cool Pokemon.
Yeah, I can't wait to like depict Braille again. That was always like one of the weirdest things I remember about playing like the Gen 3 games. I'm just like, Mom, can you help me translate Braille? And she's like, what?
She's like, do some like weird pattern on the floor and like
yeah, you need a Pokemon that knows surf. Yeah,
it had to be Relicanth or some shit.
Yeah,
that was so cool to me.
And you needed a Whale Lord, and like Whale Lord was like kind of hard to like get because Whalmer evolved at a high level. Like that shit was cool, and like
that was like definitely a cool like mini quest or whatever.
Yeah, so that's why I'm excited. Like, also, the new legendaries look really funny. I guarantee one of the fucking Kung Fu Bear thing is going to be a Smash DLC character by like next summer.
Shut up.
It's gonna happen, man. Urshifu, you better practice your Urshifu matchup like right now.
Yeah, all the Pokemon characters are fucking mashers. Fuck that.
Facts. But I'm a big fan of the Galaxy Brain Pokemon. That's my dude. That Pokemon looks so fucking stupid.
Actually, Galaxy Brain.
Galaxy Brain Pokemon?
Yeah, there's the legendary in the Crown Tundra is this like deer looking Pokemon with like this big ass Galaxy Brain thing growing out of its head, and he's got this like skinny body and looks like skinny legs and arms. It's like it looks so fucking stupid.
What's it
like,
called? Galaxy?
No, it's called Catalyx or something like that. I'll post a picture of it in the Discord. Hold on, because it's like probably one of like my least favorite. It's a terrible design, but because it looks so stupid, I love it.
Maybe it's not terrible.
I'm posting it right now.
Oh, I've seen this thing.
Yeah, just look at its legs.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, literally Galaxy Brain, like this huge berry on top of his head.
Like I work out at the library, looking ass. Like,
yeah.
I love him so much.
He likes
he's a doof.
He likes to break a mental sweat.
He's a doof in Schmertz.
He looks like sheep in the big city, but like on steroids. That's a reference people are not gonna get, but it's fine.
Yeah, it was an unpopular show like 20 years ago.
General specific, private public, anybody?
What?
I remember the Flash game was. Yeah, Sheep in the Big City was a weird show that I didn't think about.
Dude, I don't remember anything about that show.
Yeah, me neither. Really.
I remember there was like a commercial for oxymorons at the end of the show, like Jumbo Shrimp. Like,
nope, don't remember that.
Anyway, yeah, Pokemon, that's cool. So, Glitch is gonna be fun. Mad people are gonna go. You guys can follow myself and Chris on Twitter. We're gonna be gooning it up.
Yeah,
so
we'll
it's gonna
be it'll be a good time.
And then Genesis is the week right after that. Oh, that's a good show. Love Whatever Happened to Robot Jones.
Why did I change his voice? That was so weird.
Yeah, I never understood that either. Do you remember when he dates the Scantron machine?
Yeah, that was funny.
That show's
Brilliant.
Good. Like he gets a perm. I'm like, what does a robot need a perm for? Like, great show. 10 out of 10. Yeah, so that's about it for everything that's happened this week. So as for what's coming up next week, because things are kind of crazy, like we are in the midst of getting the power rankings done. So we're probably we're gonna shoot to have that stream on Tuesday. So
yeah, we're gonna try. I think that'd be good if we could get that.
Yeah, so we're gonna shoot to do that. So look forward to that so we can finally get the power rankings out of the way for the upcoming season. And yeah, Chris and I are gonna be a Glitch. I'm gonna be a Genesis. And then I'm in the process of buying my flight to another tournament next month, but I will share the details on that once I have them. But
please do. That sounds good.
Yeah, 2020 is off to a great start so far. So I'm having a good time. So yeah, so Hungry, this is the part where you get to plug yourself. So what do you got going on?
That sounds weird.
God damn it.
All right. So I am working on a new video. I'm not gonna say what it is just yet, just because it'll be a little surprise. It should be out actually by tomorrow, Monday. So
Nice.
I will sort of be today if you're watching this, right?
Yeah, no, this is gonna be out
Yes.
tomorrow morning probably.
Yeah, so it'll be out later today.
Oh
If
yeah,
you're
good
watching.
good point. Yes, yes. Later today, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, yes.
So be excited for that. Be doing a little more streaming. I know you guys are watching my Resident Evil 4 stream, which was, not bad. People were in there for that, having a fun time with that. I still might stream more of that at professional mode, but we'll talk about that later.
Resident Evil 4.
Yeah,
Good game.
but yeah, the new video will be out probably later today.
Yeah.
And I don't know what tournament I'll be at next, so just keep an eye out for that. But probably be a bit. And that's all I got.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun stuff. I just need my tax return. To fucking start building a computer.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm chomping at the bit to just do something.
Yeah, tax return money is the goat.
Especially because like my savings account took a massive blow after Let's Make Big Moves, so I'm ready to start.
Yeah, well,
stockpiling money
being
again.
in New York will do that. God, man, it is
That
so
was
expensive. New York
I'm
is
so broke.
freaking expensive, man.
It's been a lot of air sandwiches for lunch.
Oh shit, air sandwiches. What do you usually put on that?
The holographic meatloaf.
That sounds good.
Karen. Yeah.
I imagine it would be good.
Oh boy.
It's my favorite.
That's
Nero.
like which I forget which Christmas movie that was where they were sitting around the table and pretending like they were giving Christmas gifts, but they're all broke, so they couldn't actually give Christmas gifts.
Don't know.
That sounds familiar.
I think it was A Year Without a Santa Claus, but this is I
Oh,
guess
you might be right.
this is definitely boomer material, so I think it's time to go.
King Boomy.
Oh man.
Yeah. So yeah, like we said, stay tuned for later this week and today for Hungry's videos. And yeah, we'll see you guys for the power ranking.
Yep.
Until next time, take care.
Adeuces.
Bye.
I'm in so much lag.